I don't think personal style is dead. I think you guys are just existing in these social media echo chambers, and instead of choosing to authentically be yourself, you're choosing to follow what every TikTok fashion it girl tells you that she's wearing. It has been such a large conversation surrounding personal style. Is it alive? Is it dead? Was it ever really alive? How do we get it? I'm no expert, but I am a fashion icon. And I can tell you this much. I am someone who has always felt comfortable exploring with my style, whether people around me got it or not. Now, that's not to say that I never participated in any trends, because of course I did. I was growing up, and just like every other kid when you're growing up, you want to fit in. And in general, as people, even as adults, we all want a sense of belonging. So I understand the need and or want to feel like you're a part of something. And I think that a lot of times that manifests in fashion as wearing what all the it girls are wearing this fall or following their favorite fashion influencers and literally just clicking purchase on anything that they ever post. But I want to encourage you, take a moment and ask yourself, who am I? What do I personally like to wear on my body, and why do I like to wear it? Now, I put on clothes, and fortunately and both unfortunately for me right now, my personal style is something that is on trend at the current moment that we're in right now. I'm a little bit over the top. I love wearing blazers. I love wearing ties. I love wearing things that almost seem like a little tailored, sophisticated. If I had to give my style like 3 words, I guess I would say androgynous, sophisticated, but fun. And unfortunately and fortunately for me, that's what the it girls are wearing right now in 2024. And I have such complex feelings about that. Is it nice to see things that I've loved forever having such a large sense of appreciation amongst social media users and amongst the fashion community? Absolutely. Because it means that, you know, I'm not only talking to myself now. I recently posted a video showing everyone how to tie a tie on both Instagram and on YouTube, and people were actually telling me that they needed this. They needed this video from me because, yeah, there are how to tie a tie videos on social media, but maybe they don't come from someone that looks like me and has style like mine, so it resonated differently with different people, and I was glad I got to be that for people. However, I fear that some of the internet is starting to lose a little bit of their self-identity, and I don't think personal style overall is dead. I think a lot of these people just haven't found it, and they're just jumping from that trend to the next one. And again, I want to go ahead and say, yes, I think we all in some way do participate in trends, even if we're not going out and purchasing something. We are in some way somehow participating in them, even if it's subconscious. But I think it's a slippery slope. You can participate in trends, but remember that at the core of you participating in incorporating those trends into your daily looks, what needs to be at the forefront and the focus of your mind is your personal style. And I want you to know it's okay if you haven't found that yet. It takes years. In fact, I would argue that it takes a lifetime. I recently saw a TikTok of someone saying personal style is not something that you achieve. It is just a lifelong journey. And in a way, I somewhat agree. That doesn't mean that you can't have a strong stance on whether you like something or not, because I truly do. I can look at a piece of clothing and I can tell you if I hate it or love it based on whatever I feel. I have a very strong sense of self. I don't think that everyone feels that way. And I think it can be hard to feel that way, especially with the rise of TikTok trends and cores and aesthetics and everyone telling you what the fashion forecasting it girls are wearing. Like, it's too much. It's overstimulating, it's overwhelming, and we have never had this many fashion items pushed down our throats day in and day out ever before in history. So it's overwhelming, and I can understand why someone who's already trying to find themselves feels like a whirlwind of just getting caught up in trends. But I encourage you, the next time you see a trend or you see something getting popular and you feel a strong urge to buy it, or you just feel the urge to wear it and you like it, ask yourself why you're doing that. And wait a second, give it a month if you're gonna purchase it minimum, and then buy it. Or if it's just something that you're styling, that's okay. It's okay to play characters, especially with the clothing that we already have in our closet. I'm never gonna discourage someone from dressing differently every single day because it's fun. Sometimes I like to even say to myself, sometimes I feel like I have a medley of a few different characters that I like to play on. Like, some days I'm like a sophisticated professor, other days I'm like a sexy like baddie and I have my legs out, I have on a mini skirt, etc. I think it's okay to play with that as long as it doesn't come at the cost of losing your sense of self. Experimenting with your style and playing in fashion and playing in clothes shouldn't come at the cost of your own self-identity. And I want you to remember that. I want you to keep that as your core. focus. So no, I don't think personal style is dead. I think that's such an oversimplification. I think people are dramatizing things. Do I think most people have an idea of like one or two aesthetics right now that look cool? Yes. And I think I don't have a word for those two aesthetics, but I'm gonna call it what you guys call it. I think one of those aesthetics that I see is super prevalent right now is the old money aesthetic, which I hate that term, but that's what you guys call it. So I'm gonna repeat it. The old money aesthetic, you know, the very neutrals, the dark colors, the clean lines, the look of things feeling tailored, when really I think most of you guys are just talking about and describing basics, because actually a lot of the clothes you're describing don't actually look that well constructed or fit that nicely, but that's another topic for another video. And then the other aesthetic being the eclectic grandpa, I think is what you guys called it. Mixing those androgynous elements, putting ties on, adding streetwear, blazers, those kinds of looks. And I've noticed that those are two very popular styles, not necessarily in real life, but definitely online. I think there's another thing to be said about how people are so dramatic about the way they feel fashion is in real life. But I think we have to remember that as people who are on social media, we exist in such a bubble. And that doesn't mean that what we see on social media doesn't reflect what we're seeing in real life. But I think on social media, it's so much bigger than it actually is. Because if you really think about it, how many girls can you name in real life that go around saying they want to dress like old money aesthetic or eclectic grandpa and genuinely looking like that every day and committing to it? Which I think is such an interesting phenomenon, because it's like everyone's dressing like that online because it gives them a sense of belonging to be part of the trends. But then in person, a lot of people feel uncomfortable actually dressing that way because most people in real life aren't dressing that way. And if they dress that way, it would make them lose their sense of belonging. So it's really just interesting and fascinating to think about. All in all, now I don't think personal style is dead. I think you just need to get offline. And I think if you're gonna be online, consume responsibly. You know, I see tons of cute things all the time, but I make sure that anything that I'm actually going after, that I want, that I'm considering purchasing, and that I'm considering emulating, I really think to myself, why do I want to wear this? What does it make me feel? What does it say about me? And then I proceed accordingly. Look guys, I'm no expert. I'm just a fashion icon. And as always, I'm so thankful for my community. And let me know what you think about personal style below. Is it dead? Is it alive? Are we all just being dramatic? I want to know. Bye.